Today we will be speaking on Martin Luther and the Protestant Reformation in a small lecture that I like to title The Protests That Changed the World. This is a very interesting topic to be speaking on, especially with the way society is right now with so many different protests, so many different agendas. This is one case where truly one man's protest, one man's ideologies changed the world as we know it. And I will start stating that, and I will back up that extremely strong statement in the following slides. So, who started this? Who started this amazing thing? Martin Luther, the would-be lawyer turned theologian. He was originally studying law, but during a actually very vicious thunderstorm under fear of death, he gave up law. He promised God that if he would let him live, that he would turn to the monastery and he would be a monk. He would be a theologian. He would be walking the path of righteousness. And of course, Martin Luther's father was extremely mad because the lawyer was an amazing job to have. He couldn't imagine his son not being a lawyer. As an acclaimed visionary in his younger years, he created the 95 Theses, which highlighted where the church, the Roman Catholic Church, was going wrong. It ranged from using purgatory as a get out of jail free card. Maybe he just went to purgatory. If you pay this, he'll go to heaven. He wasn't that bad. He just went to purgatory, but he's waiting there. It was also used as a tool to motivate and confuse those who did not read. Remember, at this time, many people were not reading the Bible. They were taking the words from the church and just following it. Now, why am I not going into detail? Well, you could say this lecture is not focused on Martin Luther. It's more so focused on the ripples that his actions created. Many people understand Martin Luther, but not many people understand truly how far the scope of his actions went. He created these 96 theses to highlight what was wrong with the church. We established this already. One especially powerful thesis was stating that the Pope was wealthier than any man on earth. So why was he using peasants' money to fund construction? These were big call-outs. These were body blows. These were absolute thumpers to the papacy, to the Roman Catholic Church, which until this time were completely irreverent of the fact that they were doing wrong, completely cutting away all of the actual truth of the matter. They were a powerhouse. They were a force to be reckoned with. You did not mess with them. They were powerful. They were money hungry. I only say that to recognize a lot of what was already known. Let's go over some common misconceptions, though. Martin Luther had very little to do with the Protestant Reformation, and I know that's going to sound a little bit odd and a little bit antagonistic of what has already been commonly stated. Now, I'm not trying to be controversial or be a contrarian, but in reality, and this is commonplace, Martin Luther did very little other than advise those who created the Protestant and Lutheran churches on what to do. He was not as outspoken after his Edict of Worms on the Reformation. He was actually lost a lot of his popularity, and especially within the Theological Society, for scandals such as a polygamy scandal with a prince saying that he could have multiple wives, and also odd comments such as that Jews should be pulled from their synagogues and burned. He said a lot of these odd things. He did a lot of these odd things. A lot of people contribute these extreme mood changes to be associated with a high level of pain due to kidney stones in his later life. So, did he do a lot for the actual meat and potatoes of the Protestant Lutheran Reformation in the sense of the heavy lifting of the groundwork? No, he did not, but he began the fight, which is the hardest thing to do. Could you imagine a true David and Goliath situation, standing at the mouth of a Leviathan, going against the Catholic Church. It truly was a sight. So I want to make sure everyone sees this. Anabaptist, Lutheran, Baptist, Unitarian, Restoration, Pentecostal, Methodist, Anglican, Episcopalian, Calvinist, Presbyterian. Now in the 21st century, we have non-denominational. We have so many others. We always need to understand that from all of these changes, we have so many people to thank, but we cannot thank them without giving honorable mention to King Henry VIII and Martin Luther.